In the examples in the first part of the lab, we calculated summary statistics for the US as a whole. But let's suppose we want to answer some questions about what's happening at the level of individual states, not the country as a whole. That's what we're going to be doing for the rest of this lab. To do that, before we use the summarize function to add up the number of cases or calculate the average of deaths, we're going to have to introduce another step. And that step is called grouping, and the function we'll be using is called group by. That is part of the tidyverse. So I want to look at an example here of how we can use the group by function to produce information about states. So the question we're going to answer as I walk you through this will be how many total cases did each state have? So recall, this is our raw data, COVID County. It's at the level of one row per county. So each row represents the state of play regarding COVID cases and deaths on a certain date as of August 30th, 2020. So this first row represents Autauga, Alabama. So this first part of the data, all these counties are in Alabama. So using the process of grouping by state to put all of the Alabama counties together and the Maryland counties together and the Texas counties together, and then summarizing, we took our raw data and turned it into this data frame, which now has one row per state, and all of the cases in all of the counties in each state have been added up. So we took all of the values for Vermont and put them together. So we have 1,600 cases in Vermont. In Wyoming, total of 3,800 cases. This was all produced through the grouping and summarization process. Just briefly, I want to show you generally how this is working, and Delaware provides a really nice example because it only has a handful of counties. So first, I'm just going to use the filters that are built into RStudio. Click this filter button, and I'm just going to search for Delaware. So we see Delaware has a total of 17,064 cases. In our data frame here, I'm also just going to, in our raw data, I'm going to search for Delaware. We've got these three counties. And so Kent had 2,608 cases, Newcastle 8,000 cases, Sussex 6,000 cases. So 8,000-ish plus 6,000-ish plus 2,600. You add those three things together and you get this value for Delaware. Okay, let's go ahead and move down to the next part of the lab.